Macronutrients, what are they? What should you be eating and how can they help your fat loss journey? Hey everybody, I'm Brian with Applied Fitness. Today I want to talk about macronutrients, commonly referred to as macros. We hear about them all the time. It's something you hear all the time, you read about them, you see them on social media all the time. But what the heck are your macronutrients? So today let's talk about the macros and the big three. All right, it's protein, carbohydrates, and fat are your three macronutrients. Now, just to kind of back up a little bit to talk a little about micronutrients. We don't hear about them as much, but they're just as important. Your micronutrients are your vitamins, your minerals, your phytochemicals. Those are the things that are commonly occurring in food that we don't necessarily track because they don't have any caloric value to them, but they're just as essential for life as your macros. But in your fat loss and weight loss journey, obviously calories count, caloric deficit is super important, so that's why we talk about the macros, okay? I hope that makes sense. All right, so first, let's talk about protein. Now, protein is building blocks, and we always think of muscles as we think of protein. It's like, oh, eat more protein, but why? Want to eat more protein because it's true, it is the building blocks of muscle tissue, but it's also the building block of all tissue, of all hormones, all enzymes, all metabolic actions in your body require protein. So again, if you want to raise your metabolism, if you want to support your metabolism, if you want to be congruent with your fat loss goals of keeping your metabolism higher, you need more protein. So typically we're looking for about 35 to 50% of your total calories coming from protein. So as we break that down, I have a notation that each gram of protein is 4 calories. So kind of keep that in mind that each gram, so if something has 20 grams of protein, we have to multiply that by 4. So when you're trying to come up with how many calories you're taking in, how many grams, that's very important. All right, second, we're talking about carbohydrates. Again, carbohydrates have a bad reputation, but they shouldn't. We want to modify them in our fat loss journey, but they are straight up energy, and they have a lot of other purposes as well. Carbohydrates, we're going to find our fiber, soluble and insoluble fiber is only found in carbohydrates. So having a sufficient amount of fiber in your diet is obviously very important. So we want to kind of modify that. We don't want to go too high or too low. We're never advocating no carb, but usually 25 to 40% of your caloric calories should come from carbohydrates, just enough to get the fiber that you need, but not too much to throw your metabolism out of whack. All right, last but not least is fat. We know it, we love it, but what the heck is it? Fat is stored energy, and I think we all kind of knew that, but fat isn't necessarily bad. There is essential fat. We have the omega-3s, your omega-6 fatty acids that are they're essential. They're essential fatty acids that your body needs for absorption of vitamins and minerals, needs for a lot of metabolic actions. Fat is essential, so we never want to go completely fat-free, so we're going to shoot for about 20 to 35% of our caloric intake will come from fat. So if you kind of, again, break that down, and with fat is a little bit different in the sense that it has 9 calories per gram of fat. So kind of keep that in mind that it's double the calories of both proteins and carbohydrates as fat. So again, kind of keep that in mind. So those are your 3 macronutrients. I hope that helps. Keep in mind too that everybody is different. So one person might need a little bit more carbohydrates, the next person might need a little bit less, a little bit protein, a little bit. Everybody's different, everybody's metabolism is different, but today was just to give you an overview of the basics. Now that you have the basics, time to look at your diet and take the next step forward. I'm Brian with Applied Fitness. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Be great.